So, inshallah ta'ala, we are discussing the qalb al-salim, begging Allah Azza wa Jal to grant us all a qalb salim, a sound, pure heart that we will meet Him with. Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We have mentioned that we have a few things established before we discuss how to earn or what are the signs of a qalb salim. And we mentioned, who's going to remind me? Yasmeen?
We first start with what Allah is pleased with.
What Allah is looking at. We have to remember that Allah is looking at that heart. The heart is the focus of Allah Azza wa Jal. What else? What else would we discuss? We discussed that the heart, if it is good, the rest of the body is good. And if it's corrupt, the rest of the body is corrupt. We also discussed the meaning of the word qalb. It means yataqallab. The heart constantly flips, constantly moves. And then last week we mentioned that the fourth thing that we have to have established is that the heart is the focus of the fitan. If a fitna is coming, a test, a trial, a temptation, if it comes to the heart. And we said there are two kinds of fitnas. Who remember? Doubts and desires. Shahawat and shubuhat. These are, and we mentioned that any fitna that could cross your mind, it will go under either a shubha, either a doubt, or it's a desire. Anything you can think of, you will find out that this fitna, it came either from, I have some doubts about my deen, or I have an addictive desire that I'm struggling with, okay? And these, both of them, they attack the heart. They don't attack the eye, the ear, the foot, the knee. They attack the heart. And the heart gives orders to the rest of the body. Like if a fitna of men or women, it comes to the heart will send a sign to the eyes to start looking and watching and all that. If it's something that with hearing, the heart will send a signal to the ear to fall into that fitna. So the heart is the center of accepting or receiving the fitnas. So these are four things that we have established. The fifth one is, and keep in mind that we are mentioning all these things in order to know how to fix that heart. Knowing all these things, knowing that it is the center of Allah is looking at my heart, it makes me really want to work on it. Imagine, I'm telling you, I am only looking at your hair. So you start looking and fixing your hair because everybody's looking at your hair, you know, or whatever. So here, knowing that the one I want to please, all he cares about is my heart. Logically, all I need to fix and focus on is my heart. And this is the whole idea we started this, right? I love Allah and I want Him to be pleased with me. Tayyib, Ya Allah, what is the most important organ in my body that you want me to fix? Your heart. Done. And anybody who has a brain who's sane, he said, why should I look at fix this and fix that and fix? Because if this is fixed, automatically the rest are fixed. My tongue will not backbite anymore. Because why? Because the heart will start aching if I backbite, if I lie, if I curse, if my eyes start looking at haram, the heart will start aching. So I will go back. No matter what you think about, it will always go back to the heart. So let me fix the thing that matters. Rasulullah said, if it is good, can you imagine? The man who taught us all our deen, he said, if this is good, the rest of the body is good. Tayyib. Imagine, I gave you an example. Okay, you have a test in three subjects: English, math, and science. And the teacher said, whatever you get in math, I will grade everything else accordingly. And we focus on math. If math is good, then the science and the English will automatically follow. Similarly, if my heart is good, the rest of the body will follow. So Bismillah, let me focus on my heart. So this is how important is this topic. And this is why I'm taking so much time to establishing the foundation before I start building. And by the way, in our life, in our life, if you notice something as Muslims, we focus a lot on the building, and the foundation is very weak. But let's be honest, the foundation is weak. I see people, mashallah, 5 times in the salat, fasting, Monday and Thursday. All these are great. But, like for example, a brother that, comes to the halaqas and attend, always in the masjid, all that. And then I found out that 2 weeks ago, it was his wedding. And of course, I told you before, I don't get invited to weddings anymore. And subhanAllah, I wish it was for a reason in my character or anything. It's not, unfortunately. It is because they know that it's haram and the sheikh cannot come there. So this brother who comes and listens and all that, and I'm going to summarize like one of the brothers told me about the wedding. He summarized it in 2 words: nightclub. Nightclub. That's a brother that attends the masajid. That's a brother who sits in the halaqah. A brother who comes to Fajr every day. Now you understand what I'm saying? The foundation is weak. I'm building Monday fast, Thursday fast, this, that, donations, sponsoring, volunteering. Oh, alhamdulillah, all beautiful. But the foundations, how could something so essential in your life? It's not something like, I fell into a sin. We all fall into a sin. This was planned, a planned sin, and invited others to enjoy the sin with me. I'm starting my new life, my new stage, a new stage in my life. I'm starting it by disobeying Allah Azza wa Jal. I'm starting it, and I consider myself a practicing Muslim. Like I was telling them the other day, this thing drives me crazy. We talk about khilafah, we talk about, Sheikh, explain to me the life of the barzakh, what happened in the qabr, and what happened in the grave, and all very deep questions. And wallahi, sisters, we cannot form a straight line in the salat. Straight line. All doctors, engineers, IT experts, smart, distinction graduated, they cannot form a straight line. One forward, one back. Ya akhi, please make a straight line. Straight line. I don't know about the sisters, but I'm sure you're probably worse than the brothers. Because the sisters keep complaining to me. Brother, I'm praying here and the sister is like 4 feet away. Yeah, sister, come. No. Look, I don't like her. What does that have to do with liking her? Come pray next to each other. Distances, spaces, straight line. And we're expecting to liberate the world, and we cannot even form a straight line. So the point is, that's why we are establishing this foundation. Before we keep talking about the heavy duty stuff, the foundation of it, the foundation is weak. And like I gave you the example of the house. If you decorated the house with Versace and Armani and all beautiful decorations, but the foundation is fake, it's very shallow, it's not deep. Any small storm, the house is gone. It doesn't matter how beautiful the things are inside. The beautiful fasting, the beautiful, always that hadith of that woman, always in my mind, and gives me like heartache. Ya Rasulullah, my neighbor, she fasts all day. Not only Ramadan, other than Ramadan, she's constantly fasting. And Ya Rasulullah, she prays Qiyam all night. All night she's in Qiyam. Decoration, right? This is the decoration we're talking about. MashaAllah, the decoration is amazing with this woman. Look, she's decorating, Allahu Akbar. But Ya Rasulullah, she harms her neighbor with her tongue. What did he say? What did he say? She's in the fire. She's in hell. Rasulullah, let me repeat, Ya Rasulullah, she prays Qiyam every night. She fasts every other day. The best fast ever, the fast of Dawood, when you fast every other day. But she harms her neighbor, Ya Rasul. So are you getting my point? The focus, what is your akhlaq? MashaAllah, niqabi, classes, this and that. And a brother was telling me the other day that, my wife is in every class and every this and every that and qiyam and tahajjud, and the way she treats me is like garbage. All of that is nothing, and of course, I asked him, how does he treat her? He said, a queen. So you see the priorities, how are they messed up? Why are you coming to the classes for? That is, if the husband says, don't go to the class, you don't come here. This is Islam. It's not like, oh, he is the power. No, this is Islam. As a matter of fact, you all know the hadith. If she's fasting, the optional fast, she has to take his permission. We all know that. But imagine the fasting with the optional fast. How about coming to a halaqah? This is not about the man is dominating. No, these are the rules of Allah Azza wa Jal. If my husband is taking care of me and honoring me and taking care of all the bills and everything that I need, in return, the least I can do, the least, you're not doing him a favor by respecting him and honoring him. It's 4 things. You are so blessed as a female. Allah gave you 4 things for Jannah. Salat al-mar'a khamsaha. You prayed your 5 daily prayers. وصامت شهرها, and she fasted the month of Ramadan. وحفظت فرجها, and she protected her chastity. She does not commit zina or any flirting or anything. وأطاعت زوجها, and she obeys her husband. She will enter from any door of Jannah. My sisters, the obedience of the husband came with the salat. It came with the siyam. People they don't want to hear that. Why did you pick all those 3? And you, mashallah, you mastered them. And when it came to this, no, I don't need a man in my life. No. وَخَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا, and we created you in pairs. It's not like, the same one who told me pray is the same guy who told me obey your husband. And the same guy who told the man, the best of you is the best to his wife. Don't think no. You man, you want to get that treatment from the wife, do your part also. Treat her as the best. You want to be the best to her. And she will reciprocate naturally. Is there any pious woman that fears Allah and sees her husband doing everything for her, and she wants to just, no, I don't care, I don't want, go put something in the microwave and do this and do that, and naturally, because she fears Allah, because it's part, look at this, salat, siyam, protect your chastity, obey your husband. So what does that mean? The obedience of the husband is an act of worship. Look what it came with. It did not come with playing soccer. No, it came with all 3 major, huge ibadat. So if the man is doing his job, let me do my job too. Okay? So, I don't know how did we get here, but as usual, I go on. All right. We have more chairs. So now we have these 4 established, inshallah, and now is the 5th one. Okay? Now the 5th one is very important. They are all important, but this one needs a little bit of focusing. The acts of worship. The acts of worship are rephrase. The reward of the acts of worship is proportional to how much was the heart involved in that act of worship. Did you get it? You got it? The reward of the act of worship depends how much was the heart involved in that act of worship. For example, we gave the example of Salah. Khushu' is a heart action, right? The more khushu' I have in the Salah, the more rewarding is the Salah. Is it clear? The more khushu' I have in my Salah, what does that mean? Khushu' is an amal of the qalb. So the more my heart was involved in the Salah, the more rewarding is that Salah. And that applies to every single ibadah. Think about any ibadah. Charity. The more my heart is involved in that charity, the more that charity is rewarding. The more my heart is involved in that volunteering in the masjid, the more rewarding is that volunteering. The more my heart is involved in reading the Quran, because sometimes we read. I don't get nothing. I'm not Arabic. I don't understand. I did not put any effort to understand. The more I understand, which is go through the heart, the more that recitation will be rewarding. So the fifth concept, or the fifth foundation, is that the more the heart is involved in an act of worship, the more rewarding that act of worship. Also, keep in mind, I'm still fixing the foundation. Now I know, subhanAllah, that means the more I have my heart thinking about what I'm doing, the more it will be rewarding. So now it will increase my intention to fix that heart. This is what we're doing right now, okay? طيب. Listen to this hadith. I was wondering, since it's a Hajj season is coming, I was wondering, because we all know that any person who goes to Hajj and his or her Hajj was accepted, they come back as a newborn baby, right? كما ولدته أمه, just like his mother, the day that his mother gave birth to him or to her, okay? So I was saying to myself, is there any other action that Rasulullah ﷺ promised that you will, after doing that amal, you will come back as a newborn baby? And subhanallah, I found one. And it's in Sahih Muslim, 100% authentic. And you're not going to believe that you could actually do that right after the halaqah. But listen to this. Rasulullah said, ما من مسلم يتوضأ فيحسن وضوءه. You have to get that reward of being a newborn baby, خلاص, clean, refresh, restart. So you have to go step by step to what I'm saying. No Muslim who make wudu, and look what he added. He could have stopped here or continued the hadith, but he added something very important, and perfect her wudu. I remember one sister told me that she was making wudu in the wudu area, and she saw a sister, when it came to the face, she wet her hand. This is not wudu. When it came to the face, it was what? Wipe or wash? Wash. The face is wash, not wipe. And imagine that same sister would put her head under the sink to wash her. Exactly the opposite. When it came to the hand, wipe. But when it came to the face, wash. And wash this is not washing. This is tapping. I don't know what is that. So this is not what Rasulullah ﷺ said here. And perfect her wudu. Every part of the wudu is done properly. And the face is one of the main mistakes, especially when you're wearing the hijab. Or even the brothers, what they do is they put the money in the face. You see this area here? On both sides. Many people do not wash this, even though, is this part of the face or no? Obviously, it's not my neck. It's not my, this is my face. So here, when I wash this area, why am I explaining? Because Rasulullah inserted that perfect her wudu in order to get that reward at the end. This is how the hadith started. Man tawadda'a wa ahsana. Ahsan, we all know ahsan. He improved, he perfected his wudu. So when I'm making the wudu, a very common mistake is that we do not wash this area. So make sure that the water, in your hand, but the rest of the hand is making sure that the water gets to the rest of the face. This is one of the very common mistakes. And another common mistake, many of you do not know this. And you're going to say, oh, I've been making wudu for 30 years, 20 years. Many people wash the arms from here. How many people wash the arms from here? Almost everybody. No. They start from here. Okay. Exactly. Can you imagine? This is why these classes are important. You start from here. That's why you see people put their hand like this. And the right is making sure, or the left is making sure the water is making all over the right here, right? So it starts from here. By the way, it's not an ijtihad. The Sheikh said, oh, you should start. No, there's a hadith that start from the top of the longest finger, and then go down and make sure that the elbow is covered. Another thing, because sister's wearing the hijab all the time, so when she uncover her, she's like, for example, like this. And she starts washing, and the elbow is covered. See, this is not perfection of wudu. And also the brothers, when they are at work and they're wearing all the stuff, the ties and that, same thing. They do it up to here. No, the elbow is included in the arm. These are the two major mistakes that we do in the wudu, the face and this. Of course, there are other stuff, but these are the two I noticed that many people are not aware of. Okay. Okay, another thing is the wiping on the neck. There's no authentic hadith about wiping of the neck. This wiping of the neck is not really part of the wudu. Even if it's a part, it's not if you don't do it, it's not going to be like a major. How do I know? Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayah number 6. It's called Ayat al-Wudu. Literally, it explained what are the fard. Because just like anything else, wudu has obligation and it has sunnahs. Can I wash my hands only once, or it has to be 3? One is enough. I am stuck in a place where I have a little bit of water. I don't have to do 3. 3 is when I'm home and the masjid, all the time, 99%. But does 1 suffice? Absolutely. I'm in the, I hate the wudu in the plane. You just want to get out. Imagine you're putting your foot there. I always go to Medina first when I go to Umrah or Hajj. Always, all my life. But one time, I don't know if you remember, when I got stuck and my visa for Hajj came on the 7th of the Hijjah. 8th of the Hijjah, Hajj start. And I'm sure the whole community was talking about it. Anyway, so there's no more Medina. So you have to go straight to Mecca. So it's my first time putting the ihram. And when I went to Turkey, I put my ihram. You put your ihram in the city before Jeddah. I put my ihram there. He said, where are you going? I said, where do I look? I'm going to Hajj. He said, Hajj is closed. There's no more Hajj. So what are you talking about? Anyway, long story short, he said, go take your ihram. The only way I can get you to the plane is take off your ihram. So I went to took off my ihram and I went back. So now where do I have to put the ihram?
The plane.
And that was my first time ever putting ihram in the plane. You know those acrobatic, the one that you have to have a very, the woman that put her leg behind her neck. The very subhanallah. So let's go back. So when you are in such a situation, you do everything once, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And also if you have scarcity of water, right? So you just do once is enough. So here, let's go back to the hadith. Any Muslim, and let's keep these questions to that. Any Muslim who makes wudu and perfect his wudu, ثم يقوم فيصلي, then he or she will get up and pray rak'atayn, 2 rak'ah. And here's why this hadith is mentioned under this topic. مقبل عليهما بقلبه ووجهه. He's praying, she's praying those 2 rak'ahs with full attention, full focusing, with her face and her heart. Rasulullah ﷺ used both wajh and qalb. And this is, again, in order to get that huge reward at the end, we must follow every step of the hadith. Yani, Allahu Akbar, I'm not on earth anymore. I'm not here. I don't know what's going on. I'm out. All I'm focusing, there's no, let me finish the hadith. She or he انصرف من خطيئته كهيئته يوم ولدته أمه. He will, all the sins will be deleted just like the day he or she were born. If perfect wudu, 2 rak'ahs with full attention. How many times we get so distracted the minute I say Allahu Akbar? Yeah, inshallah it will be rewarding. But if you want this, no. Redo, repeat, restart. That's why the reward is huge. It's not just like, yalla guys, let's go pray 2 rak'ah. No. How many times, honestly, I'm on top of that list. The minute I say Allahu Akbar, so many things come to mind, right? Anybody is exempted? Nobody. We are all into that. We fall into that trap, unfortunately. So that salat, in order to get that huge reward, I'm gonna make every single effort. And if I feel like I got distracted, I'm gonna repeat. Because I'm gonna be a newborn baby. You understand? I'm assuming in order to get that reward, Rasulullah ﷺ, he added something. He did not say like anything else. You pray Fajr and Jama'ah and you stay remembering Allah, and then you get up and pray 2 rak'ah, you will get the ajr of Hajj and Umrah. The one we always do. He did not say on those 2 rak'ahs, make sure you are focusing and your heart is full. And you just get up. You want something, istikhara, get up and pray 2 rak'ah and make this dua at the end. But this is the only time that he said muqbil. He or she are completely focused with their face and their heart about those 2 rak'ahs. So does that mean, Sister Fatima, that I have to keep repeating? And to me it looks like yes, you have to keep repeating. Otherwise it would have been, can you imagine? It would have been just get up and pray 2 rak'ah and you will come back as a newborn baby. Then people will start sinning and will do everything, and then yalla khalas, I'm gonna go back and everything will be deleted, right? Subhanallah. Let me just say something that will make you feel how big is this hadith. Hajj and this. That's it. These are the 2 hadith authentic that you come back as a newborn baby. Going to perform the Hajj with all its efforts, money. We all know what Hajj is, and this hadith. So it has to be really something that needs a lot of effort. So we go back to that foundation. What time do we have? 18? Okay. So the more the heart, and this is why the hadith is mentioned here, the more the heart is involved in a ibadah, the more rewarding is that ibadah. And like we said, you can apply that to any hadith, any ibadah that you could think of. So وكذلك, then the Shaykh said, similarly, reading one surah of the Quran with focus and reading it with your heart, understanding it, making the intention to apply what you learned from it. He said it is better than reading the whole Quran without focusing. Does that make sense or not? It makes a lot of sense. I read, and nothing is changing in my life. While I read 2-3 ayahs and I decided to apply them. Which one is better? So, to solve this problem, I was thinking, why don't we make a reading for every letter 10 hasana? And another reading, private, strict, is the one that I want to understand and focus and apply. This way, I'm not missing out on all these hasanat. Every page is 5,000 hasanat. And at the same time, I have another plan of taking a small surah, I start with Juz' Amma, and I start understanding what does that surah mean. Wallahi, if we go this on a nice place, you will, sooner or later, you will have an understanding, a meaning, an idea about what the Quran is about. You will reach a point that most of the Quran, you have understood what Allah wants from us. What is the Quran? The Quran are messages from Allah to me and you. The only time, listen to the statement, the only time that you will actually enjoy reading the Quran is when you feel that it was revealed to you. When Allah is saying, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, Allah is talking to me. Ya ayyuha nas, Allah is talking to me. Oh people, oh mankind, Allah is talking to me. So let me see what He wants. Right? This is the only time we start really enjoying reading the Quran. Otherwise, yalla, just like everything else in our life, quick. SubhanAllah. طيب, we will stop here inshallah ta'ala.